What's up, guys? I wanted to make a brief video of my Raptor light install. There's tons of videos online about how to install Raptor lights on a 5th gen 4Runner. I will say on the 2020s and newer, it does seem like that the add a fuse that comes with most of the kits with the Raptor lights no longer works. And what I want to do is bring attention to that real quick, if I can get the cover off my fuse box. And that's due to the fact that the fuse box is slightly different. I don't exactly know why they made this change, but that was one of the changes they made on the 2020 and newer. This happens to be a 2021. In addition to that, I wasn't a big fan of doing the whole add a fuse thing and then have it hanging out of my fuse block. Personally, I like to have a cleaner install, and I like to have a dedicated switch for any accessories that I add to my vehicle. So what I'm going to do is just go over my install, and then I'm going to go through some of the issues I ran into. And hopefully this is more of just an informative video to, kind of help you guys troubleshoot and overcome any obstacles you may have when you're installing these. Okay, so like I said, one of the changes that they made on the 2020 and newer 4Runners was the fuse panel. Now, I will say one of the first things that I did when I was going through my installation was I wanted to find a harness, and I actually find the Nylite harness on Amazon to be the highest rated. And there's actually a neat little video for the 4Run switch, which is the one I used, recommending this actual harness. And I've installed many off-road lights in the past, and accessories for that matter, and frankly, a pre-built harness is the way to go. It's so much easier than building your own, and frankly, it's cheaper. This was on Amazon for $12, and that included the relay, a switch, which I didn't use the switch that came with the harness, but it literally came with everything you need to make the harness for these. The only thing that I did was on the ends of the Nylite harness, I cut their ends off, and then I soldered the end of the Raptor lights to it so that it would work. The only other thing I'm probably going to modify at some point is changing this ring terminal to a smaller size, just so it fits under the cover a tad bit better. But as you can see, besides that red wire, it honestly looks like factory. And I even went as far as tucking the wires. So as you can see, there's just the one wire that you can see. All the other ones, even when you look straight through the grill, you can't notice it. And my style is I liked it to look OEM, but I also like to have it where you might not even be able to see that it's there. And so when these are off, I went with the smoked look, because from afar you can't even tell that they're there. I thought that was pretty neat. And then underneath this cover, again, this isn't a true install video. I'm just kind of going over what I did. There's tons of videos about how these neat push pins work. You just push them in and pull them out. You don't even need a screwdriver, and I'll show you. See, push it in with your finger, boom. You get ready to put it back in, push it up, boom, and it's locked back into place. Super cool. I think Toyota's, that's one of the genius things about Toyota, is they're just innovative like that. But as you can see, I routed my harness in a way that you can't even hardly tell it's there. Some Hawkeye viewers might notice that is my relay, and I do have it zip tied. I went with the zip tie instead of actually drilling a hole into my fender, because again, I want to make this to where it's still factory if need be. I'm not voiding any warranties. I'm not causing anything that would potentially void the warranty. And then I did run the harness through the firewall through the existing grommet. There is a little tab or like nipple on the end of the rubber plug that you could take off, and then that allows you access in without ruining the rubber plug that keeps things from getting into the cabin. So now I will walk into the cabin and I'll show you. So as I mentioned before, I wanted it to look as OEM as possible. And so as you can see, I have a OEM-ish looking switch. It's a tad bit different color than the other switches. As you can see, it's a tad bit more glossy, but frankly, it still fits in nicely. I know there's some videos where people are saying they had to put tape around the switch, or they had fitment issues. I think 4Run fixed that, because this one frankly fits perfect. I don't have any issues with it. The way I wired mine up is I have it where it lights both the 4Runner and the Raptor lights wording up at the same time. I didn't really care to have it where it would light up when the headlights are on, you know, like these do. So when I do turn the headlights on, this switch, it does, see how that one's lit. This one is not, and frankly, it didn't really need that. I would much prefer it to be on when the actual switch is on, so I know that the lights are actually on. And I'll show you that right now. As you can see, the Raptor lights are on. And I did do the harness, like I said before, that has a relay in it. 4Runner mentions many times that you do need a relay for this switch to operate. And I can tell you, if you're going to install any aftermarket accessories on your vehicle, you want to have a relay on it for it to be installed properly, because these switches cannot handle the amp loads for some of those lights. Not necessarily the Raptor lights, but like light bars and pods and things like that. So now you can see my full install. What I want to do now is go over to the workbench and go over some of the issues I had during this installation. So unlike most YouTube channels, my YouTube channel is meant to serve as like encouragement, positivity. Like, I want to motivate people to try stuff. I want people to go, okay, I can try something. And, you know, a lot of people, especially with wiring, get very intimidated by it. And so that's kind of what I want to show here is, like, you know, it's not very hard. You just got to take your time. I did want to show some of the issues I've had with this installation, and then I go over some of the things that happened that ultimately made this a successful install, but hopefully it'll help somebody else out there when they go to do this install. So as I mentioned, I used the nightlight harness, and I also bought the smoked 4 amber Raptor lights. There's tons and tons of people selling these on Amazon and eBay. I went with the Quinn Sunus brand because they were the ones that had the smoked 4 lights in stock. Most of them have 3. I prefer the look of the 4. Again, it's a matter of preference of which one you want. I think they both look equally good. I just personally favored the 4 lights instead of the 3. The first issue that I encountered with this kit was these lights. If I can show you here, they snap into the grill, which I think is fantastic. Some have little backing plates that you have to screw through the back. Time will tell if that's actually better. I personally think these little quick snap-ins are awesome from an installation standpoint and from a usability standpoint. I mean, I don't have to have any kind of screws, or I don't have to have a screwdriver to install it. I just run the wire through the grill, snap it in, and boom. But one of the issues that I did have was this light actually didn't snap into the grill all the way, and I think it was just due to manufacturer defect. But the light worked, and so I sent a note to Quinn Sunus on Amazon and explained the situation to them. And I asked if they could either send me a replacement kit or at least a replacement light, and they graciously did. They actually did send me a new light. I put a review on there. You know, shout out to those guys. They seem to be a good seller. Time will tell if this will hold up or if the lights will hold up. I guess at the very least, I now have a backup light if I need an extra LED or parts from this to fix one of them if they go bad. Now, as far as the harness, the only issue I had was Amazon. They lost the package, and then they sent me another one for free and actually refunded me my money, so it worked out quite well. But regardless, I'd still purchase this harness. It's not Nightlight's fault. I think it was just a logistical issue. And as I said before, this harness is very user-friendly, very easy to install. Everything's pre-wired. They have the relay, the switch, the inline fuse, which I forgot to mention earlier. And they have the leads out to the end. And the only modification I did was I cut the ends off of those and then soldered the ends to the Raptor lights to make it one harness. And I did that using solder, which I highly recommend, especially for something that's going to be in an engine bay. In addition to that, I used heat shrink on top of that to protect it. And then I always go a step further and throw a little bit of electrical tape on top just to make sure that no water's going to get to it and it's well protected and insulated. Now, the last part of this is I had to get a switch. And like I said before, the Nightlight harness comes with a switch, but I personally wanted to go a little bit more custom, and I wanted to get an actual like OEM looking switch. And so that's what I did. I looked online and I found there's a company called 4Runner that makes these little Raptor light switch, and they seem to be one of the only companies that makes them. Now, I found them through a couple of different vendors, but I mean, they're all the exact same switch, and they all have this exact same harness. Now, again, I've done many installations in the past, and so I installed the harness, I had the relay, had the fuse, did everything correct, troubleshooted for quite a while, and I ultimately determined I had a bad switch. And I went a little bit further and actually found that the harness is bad, and as you can see, there's no longer the green wire like here that has the inline fuse, because I took the harness apart, and what I found was it was not pinned correctly, and so the pin wasn't going all the way through the plug and ultimately not making contact to the switch. So I thought, in addition to that, the actual switch itself wasn't making full contact. This is actually a dead switch. So I reached out to 4Runner, explained the situation. I even told them I did exactly everything that was in their instructions and Nightlight's instructions and the video that they have on their website. And they graciously sent me another switch. They also sent me like multiple switches, like this rock light one. They sent me a new harness. They sent me some additional like 12-volt outlets and a whole bunch of other like extra goodies. Just as like an apology for, hey, you know, sorry for the bad switch. So I would recommend them as a seller. They seem to stand behind their product, and as you saw, the new switch that I got does work, and I'm pretty happy with it. We'll see long term if it holds up, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. The lights look great at night. They have really good output, and then during the day, even if you want to have them on, they're still visible. But if you don't want to have them on, them being smoked, it kind of hides them, and I like that OEM look. So yeah, those are the challenges that I had with installing my Raptor lights. Hopefully this helps a few of you that are installing these, because it seems like most videos don't really address any of the pitfalls that you may have with this kit, or with this setup. Again, I went with the more challenging setup of, you know, I wanted a dedicated switch for it. You know, some may argue having the inline fuse or the add-a fuse that the Raptor lights come with, which is this guy, where you just tap into your fuse block, is a better option, because, you know, you're not likely to inadvertently leave it on. But for me, I'm pretty good about making sure everything's turned off, so I don't have to worry about that. But again, I hope this helps, encourages a couple of you guys that are wanting to try this install. Hopefully it encourages some of you that you might have went with this because it was easy, but you actually do like the look or the functionality of the added switch instead of just the add-a fuse. So hopefully this will motivate you to maybe make the switch. And as always, I'm more than happy to answer any questions or concerns that you have. And this, again, is just informative. I'm by no means an electrical expert. If you try this is at your own risk. So hopefully that helps some of you guys. And as always, best of luck and have fun.